All right, so you've heard me talk about player development. You know I'm passionate about player development. Today, I am going to help you create a player development plan blueprint, a blueprint of a plan that you can create today to impact the lives of the athletes in your program. Before we get started, I want to tell you what player development is. Player development is the enhancement of the athlete experience through holistic and intentional programming and initiatives. It is there on the screen. I will read it again. Player development is the enhancement of the athlete experience through holistic and intentional programming and initiatives. And a player development plan does so much to help you with that. So let's dive straight in. Are you ready? Let's go. Oh, let me tell you about myself. Okay, my name is Ed Jones. I'm passionate about player development. I was in the player development role at Houston, Kansas, and Baylor. Now, currently, I am the founder of Beyond the Field, where I help people like you create plans like we're going to do today that help create the impact you want to see in the lives of athletes. Let's go. I have over 72 hours of content on this channel, but I'm glad you're here. I think it might be the first time I did something like this where we are literally going to walk through a plan together. All right, let's get started. Okay, so your question you may be asking is, why do I need a player development plan? Why is this so important? First of all, why are you so passionate about player development? Once again, I told you the definition. You can create impact in the lives of athletes. And so why do you need a plan? You may be sitting there like, man, do we really need a plan? Can we just get it and go? Can we just do things? Yeah, you probably have a lot of ideas. There's a lot of people who have ideas of how to impact athletes, but you need a plan. And here is why you need a plan. Number one, a plan provides clarity for you. It provides the clarity you need. When I started in the role at 2016, I was a high school coach. I got hired at the University of Houston by Tom Herman, and I was excited to be there. I knew what impacting athletes was like, but I needed clarity on a plan to get that done, a clarity on my role, clarity overall. When you have a plan, you say, hey, this is what the plan is. Here is the clarity for what player development will be. And then once you have a plan, you can move to the second thing or second reason why you need a player development plan is it gives you direction. So now that we have a plan, we've got it. Let's say it's a map, right? Now that we have a plan, we know where we're going to go. We know the destination. Now we can drive in that direction. So now that you have clarity, you have a plan, you can drive in a direction. This is what we're going to do to create impact in the lives of athletes. This is how we're going to get it done. It's going to be incredible. And boom, this is direction. All our efforts are going that way. The third reason why you need one is communication. It builds communication. When I was in the role, right, and I go back to direction, I didn't have any direction. Like I was like, what am I doing, right? And then the plan helped me. But communication, when I was in the role, communication is huge because once I had a plan, I could communicate to my coaches, recruits, athletes, all these people. This is what the plan is. This is what player development is. This is what we will do. And this is how we will help and serve you. So communication is huge. And it's like, once again, if we're taking on a map, we know where we're going, we know the destination. We have communication with people. Hey, I will be there at this certain time. I could communicate the ETA. I could communicate what's going to happen at the destination because I have a plan, right? Because I have clarity, because I have direction. And now we have clear communication. All right. So what happens if you don't have a player development plan? Y'all see this barren tree right here? Ooh, barren tree. You have confusion. I talked about it in 2016. I was confused, y'all. I was confused. I was excited, but I was confused at what does it look like? What's the plan? Am I supposed to be in this meeting? Am I supposed to be here? Who am I impacting? Who do I communicate with? A lot of confusion. You're lost. I was constantly lost. Am I supposed to be in this meeting? Oh, I was supposed to do. Oh, I'm not doing this. Like, I was lost, right? Confusion and loss, those two things do not work together. And then there was a lack of communication, like meetings. They were, hey, Ed, how are we doing things? I don't know how we're doing things. I don't have a plan. I didn't know I was supposed to speak, whatever it may be. I'm trying to talk to people. I don't have a plan. I can't talk to you about what's going well, what's not, because there is no plan there. All right, so those are the reasons why you need a player development plan. Let's talk about the benefits of a player development plan. You can look here on the screen if you're listening. You can hear it as well. Number one, you can easily communicate your role and impact. Easily communicate your role and impact. I got a funny story. When I was at the University of Kansas, I noticed that I was, pulling my weight in certain areas that weren't in my role, and I wanted to get a raise, a title, a promotion. So I went to my chief of staff and said, hey, I'm looking forward to a raise, whatever it may be. He's like, yeah, just let me know what you did. I was like, what I did? You know what I did? And he's like, well, just put it on a sheet of paper. So I went back, I put down everything I did. It ended up being like a 7 to 9 page document. And it was crazy when I looked at it, like, wow, this was a lot. And so I did that for 2 years, and I was able to easily communicate. When I met with the coach, I literally printed it, handed it to the coach. I met with the AD. Here it is. This is what I did in a role. Position coaches, this is what I did in a role. Recruits will come in. This is what I did in a role. This is what we're going to do for you. And so I was able to easily communicate the role and my impact. And the crazy thing that happened from that was I actually got a job at Baylor in 2021. They were asked about player development. I sent them my 2 end of the year reviews from Kansas. I had clearly communicated what I did in a role at Kansas. I sent it to them at Baylor and was like, hey, this is what I did. Here you go. And hey, got that job. So you can easily communicate your role and your impact. Number 2, you can provide performance markers. This is a cheat code. This is a cheat code. You can put the performance marker. I have a plan. This is what we're going to do, coach. Coach, this is what we're going to do. Athletic director, this is what we're going to do in a role, or this is what we're going to do in player development. Here it is. These are the 3 areas we're going to touch. Boom. So you get to the performance evaluation at the end of the year. Hey, here are the 3 areas I told you we're going to touch. This is what we did. And then you can add whatever they wanted to add as well. But you can provide your own performance markers. It's pretty interesting. Cheat code. The third thing, third benefit of a plan is athletes understand what you're doing. When I was at the University of Kansas, Hakeem Adeniji, who's in the NFL, he came in my office. He said, hey, man, I've been seeing you around. You positive. You got good energy. You know what I'm saying? The guys like you. But what are you going to do for me and my teammates? I was like, hey, do you have time? Cool. Sit down. You got time? He sat down. I walked him through, hey, this is what we're going to do for you as a person. This is what you're going to do for the community. This is what we're going to do for your career. So the 3 pillars of Beyond the Field: personal wellness, community impact, and career development. Walk through all that entire deal. Let him know, hey, Keem was at everything we did. I tell people all the time, when you're doing a recruiting presentation, if you have a guy who played in the NFL, who did everything at a high level, make sure the players see that. Hakeem was great. Academic, all conference. Football, all conference. Was in the community, did a lot of stuff. And then he got a chance. He got drafted, played in the NFL. It was incredible. Even that story, going back to that story, him coming in my room, I said, what are you interested in? He's like, I'm interested in global HR. I went to LinkedIn. Anybody know global HR? I got a player. Boom, had him connected by the end of the week. He had a meeting. That lady called me the next week, said that guy was super impressive. He was incredible. Hey, athletes, transferable skills. You know what I'm saying? But athlete, he understood from there, and his teammates understood, because once he locked in, a lot of people, other people locked in. Coaches and staff understand. This is a big one. You know, you got this plan. The benefit is that the coaches understand. When I was at Baylor, we had all just got there. I got there. I was in my office getting some stuff done. Our O-line coach's name was Coach Mateos. He walked by the room, was like, hey, and then peeked his head back. He said, what's player development? I said, do you have time? Now, you tell people, do you have time? They know that you know what you're talking about. Do you have time? Right? So he had time. We sat down. I talked to him about, hey, this is what we do. Personal wellness, community impact, and career development for the players. This is how we get things done. He was cool. He had some questions. I answered his questions. I think he wants to be a head coach at some point. And one of you all, what's crazy about that conversation and me having a player development plan, he may hire one of you all as his director of player development later on in a career, a couple of years from now. We'll see. You will see where his career, his trajectory goes. But that would be crazy, right? But he understood. Another one is another story I'll share is with one of our coaches at KU, our defense coordinator, DJ Elliott. He had hit me up and he was like, hey, I'm going to Jones. I see the work you're doing. I got to talk to this kid. I'm trying to tell this kid I'm trying to tell the kid's mother what you do, but I can't tell the whole program. I said, we got 3 things. Tell the mother we're going to take care of her son. He's going to take care of the community. We're going to take care of his career when he's done. Boom. He understood. He communicated to the mother. I saw the mother at some point. The kid signed. The kid just finished playing. Incredible, right? So you have a big benefit of helping coaches and staff understand. And then the 5th and final benefit, you have a guideline for programming. So you have a guideline for this is how we're going to do programming. I always tell people, get the guideline at the beginning of the year before you see what other people do. Because it's all comparison. It's all on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that. And people see things. They're just like, ooh, I want to do that. Paul Journey at Clemson is one of the best to do it. They do incredible things. They've been doing it for a while. They are goated. They also have a lot of resources, and everybody wants to be Paul Journey. I have a podcast episode up here where I say you are not Paul Journey. You can't be, right? Because they're serving players at Clemson University in Clemson, South Carolina, and it fits there, right? And so I've seen people like, hey, we need to go to LA. We need to go to New York. What does your programming say? What does your player development plan say? They have the resources. You better have the resources. You're going to coach saying we want to go to LA, right? I was at the University of Houston. We didn't need to go to LA. I mean, it would have been great. We're in the city of Houston. We got all these Fortune 500 companies. And then we got Dallas. We got Austin we can go to. There's a lot of different Fortune 500 headquarters moving to Texas. We can go straight to them. So know what your guidelines are. When you have guidelines for programming, it helps you. You do not want to go ask for resources when there are different resources you can do. in player development, it's tough for them to give resources in some cases. So you want to save money. Paul Journey, they raise money. So now if you want to raise money like Paul Journey, you can do whatever you want to do. But I always love having guidelines for programming. It also helps you. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. A coach comes in. Coach may say, hey, let's do all this. You may say, hey, coach, well, this year, remember we talked about this plan. This is all we can do for this year. But guidelines for programming, that's another benefit of the player development plan. All right, now, I gave you the benefits. I gave you the reasons why. Let's make this plan together. Let's make it together. Y'all ready? Are you ready to make this plan? Cool. All right, now what I need to know, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. No, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I literally want you to pause this video. Pause this video. And for 3 minutes, put on a timer. I want you to write down everything you would focus on with a player development program. Go. All right, perfect. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to circle the top 3 from that list you created. I want you to circle the top 3. I'm going to give you 1.5 minutes to do that. Go. Now you may be asking, like, why did you have me circle 3? Like, I wanted to do 10. I wanted to do 12. I wanted to do 5. Why would you have me circle 3? The reason why I had you circle 3 is something called the rule of 3. It is a communication principle that suggests that things are more memorable and effective when they're in 3s. So our brain works in patterns, and to have a pattern, the lowest number or the lowest number to create a pattern is 3, right? Everybody's been doing it in marketing your entire life. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You loving it, right? Nike, just, there it is. What is the MBA? Snap, crackle, and pop. The rule of 3. So that's why I want you to do that. Now, I did that because I have a lot of plans. I would like to do a lot of things, but I can remember 3 things, right? That's why I got 3 kids. If I had 4, I might forget the 4th kid's name. I'm just playing. But the rule of 3 will help you. Now, if you want to do more than 3, that's fine. That's my suggestion. It is effective. Like I used that story with Coach DJ Elliott when we were at Kansas. I gave him 3 things. Hey, we're going to take care of her son. He's going to take care of the community. We're going to take care of his career. If I'd have gave him 12 things, he'd have been out there like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this. I saw somebody post something like 17 things in player development. I was like, yo, there's no way you remember that 17. Coach put you on the spot. It ain't happening. So rule of 3 helps big time. Now, with those 3, you're going to make those 3 your pillars. They will be your pillars. They will hold your program together. Okay. Now, from those pillars, you will have components. Components are things underneath those pillars that you will do. So I want you to pause, look at those 3, and then put those 3, put them on your sheet of paper, bing, 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 and then put all the things that you would do. What would you do underneath that pillar? What would you do underneath there? All right. Put as many as possible. I always say probably go up to 6 if possible. But get your pillars. You can stick with 3, keep the rule of 3. I'm okay with that as well. But what are your components? Excuse me. What will be your components? I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to do that. Pause the video. Go. All right, now, what's pretty cool about this video you're watching is I'm giving you a plan, a document you can download today where you can fill all this stuff. So you can take it from your notes, your whiteboard, your brain, your notes on your phone, whatever it may be, to a document, all right? The document looks like this. So here is a example of what you're seeing is the Beyond the Field player development plan that I use in a role at Houston, Kansas, and Baylor to find success. And so you see here, pillar number 1, personal wellness. Underneath it, the components, you got financial, mental, physical, spiritual, and social. Pillar number 2, community impact. You got education, environment, health, hunger. Pillar number 3, career development, externship, internship, career placement. Oh my goodness. I got to redo that one, career placement. And then you have plans, thoughts, and ideas down here. That document you can put all the thoughts and ideas you want down there. So what I want you to do is I want you to download the document, or you can write this document down on your paper, whatever it may be, but I want you to stop and finish your components. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. I'll give you 3, I'll give you 5 minutes. Pause for 5 minutes because you're going to go download that document. Awesome, so there it is. We just walked through it, we created a plan. I want you to take your time. I want you to rewatch this video, pause the video. I want you to take your time and create the effective player development blueprint to help your athletes. Now, if you're saying, hey, that was awesome, but I want you to help me in person, how can you help me deeper with this plan? I want to dive deeper. I have a link in the show notes that says, here's how Beyond the Field can help you. Click that link. I want to help you. Let's make it happen. While I also have your attention, I want to see you. at the 2025 Player Development Summit here in Kansas City, May 29th through the 31st. Hey, we can share all the player development plans we want to here. It's going to be incredible. We're going to have player development professionals from around the world who will come and speak to you, give you encouragement. Our 4 pillars are to grow, network, partner, and hire. I am so excited. It's going to be in person. We did it 2 years virtually, and I am excited to have this one in person. Now, as I always say, go out and create generational impact. Don't wait, create that generational impact today. And check out this video that YouTube thinks is the best to follow up after this plan video. Also, like and subscribe. Hey, like and subscribe and share now. Have a good one.